I call this regular meeting of the Village of Villa Park Planning and Zoning Commission to order. Roll call. Calvert.
Here.
Hofstra.
Here.
Jackson.
Here.
Lemieux.
Here.
Ledke.
Here.
Orlowski.
Here.
Romano.
Here.
Schlinsky. To a president. With that, we have quorum. Approval of minutes. Anyone have any questions or additions to the minutes? Seeing none, I would make a motion to approve the minutes of 6/8/2023. Is there a second?
Motion.
Second from Commissioner Orlowski. Questions or comments on the motion?
It's weird.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. Okay, so the way our process will work this evening is we have two public hearings. We'll go through one and then the second one. We'll start with staff input, which tonight will be Stephanie. Then there'll be an opportunity for the petitioner to make a presentation if they wish to. Then we'll move to public participation and questions. That would be anyone from the public wishing to speak if there is anyone. It doesn't look like it, but that could change. Then we'll have questions from the commission up here, if there are any. And then the petitioner will have an opportunity for any closing comments if they want to make any. Then we'll close the public hearing, discuss up here, and have a motion if necessary. What I'm going to ask is if you expect to speak this evening on either item, stand now. We'll get you sworn in. If you're the applicant, that would probably be a good idea just in case we have any questions for you. It'll be quick. Okay, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in the upcoming public hearing is the truth? All right, thank you. All right, so the first item of business is petition PZ 2308, 613 South Cornell Avenue, variation request to allow reduced minimum side yard setback of 4 feet for a second-story addition. Petitioner Michael McCarthy. Stephanie, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Chair. Is this working? Okay. So the subject property is a one-story single-dwelling home with an existing non-conforming side yard setback of 4.4 is an existing non-conforming side yard setback of 4.47 feet. The petitioner is proposing to build a second-story addition on their home directly over the current structure. By building vertically, the encroachment into the side yard setback would be increased. So our code specifically says building vertically or horizontally if you're expanding the structure is not allowed. By building vertically, the encroachment to the side yard setback would be increased. Exhibit A shows the alternative option of building the addition where it does not encroach into the side yard setback. It would result in an outer wall that is not continuous. Building the wall at the required setback, which is 6 feet, is not structurally feasible without redesigning the roof loads and foundation of the existing. Oh. Okay. Where? That's okay. Sure. Building the wall at the required setback is not structurally feasible without redesigning the roof loads and foundation of the existing structure. The beam that would be needed would be a...
Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's better without that. Just talk about other things. I didn't have a hard time hearing you. Okay. Really hard. So, can you guys hear?
Yeah.
Okay. The beam that would be needed would be accessible to 25 feet. So if it would change the scope of the work. After staff review, we found that the zoning specifically allows for practical difficulties or other hardship. There is one. The house was built that way years back, and there's no way to make the house not setback. The proposed addition would not have any other issues if the existing house is not included under the setback. Staff noted that the existing attached one-car garage is non-conforming, but it's not a complete quantity addition.
Thank you. Does the petitioner have a presentation or anything they want to say before we ask questions?
Yes, sir, just an oral presentation.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah,
Sure.
so-
Could you come up here because we are being recorded? Thank you. And then state your name and spell your last name for the record and your address.
Yeah, Michael McCarthy, McCarthy, 613 South Cornell Avenue. So I'm petitioning for the variance here to put an extension on my home. Myself and my wife bought the house about 5 years ago. We have 3 young children, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old. We put our roots into the town here. We're really invested in living here. And honestly, we really want to stay on our plot of land on 613 South Cornell. To allow that to happen, we want to put the extension on the home. We have 2 bedrooms in our house right now for 5 occupants, which you can imagine is quite difficult with a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old. So for us, part of our dream is to extend our home, give us more space, and to continue out living and raising our family in this great town. And the reason we've come forward and put the variance in is because we do not want to leave. We don't want to move street, we don't want to move house, we don't want to move village. So we're really want to put our best foot forward here, and I just want to make it clear to everyone here present and the committee, we are 100% committed to Villa Park and 100% committed to Cornell Avenue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, anyone from the public wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, any questions from the commission?
Yeah, I have one. So I see from your drawing, you're going to put the second floor on top of the existing home. You're asking for the side lot variance to be 4 foot. But I see on the drawing that at the overhang, it's 3 foot 5 and 3 foot 5 inches, 3 foot 5 inch and 5/8 inches off the lot line. Are we,
So we measure setbacks from the foundation, not the overhang.
not the overhang? That's my understanding.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Stephanie, does, our ordinance has a separation between eaves, I believe, from house to house? Is that accurate?
I would have to double check on that one.
I know the old ordinance did, I'm not sure about the new ordinance, but that's theoretically a fire safety thing.
For fire safety, it's 5 feet.
Yeah. And that's,
Ed, to answer your question, the zoning code says that eaves and cornices and gutters and downspouts, et cetera, can project no more than 2 feet into the side yard and project no more than 4 feet into the front or rear yard. So that's the sort of caveat with the permitted obstruction into a yard.
anyone else have a question? Well, this seems like a fairly straightforward. Questions?
No, I'm good.
All right. All your questions answered, Ed?
I'm fine.
Okay. Any closing comments from the petitioner? Or are you good? Good? Okay. All right, so if there's any discussion to be had, I think this is a pretty straightforward one. The reasoning for it makes sense, and we're talking about roughly 6 inches.
I think it'll be a great addition to an older home that's in town to make it more accommodating for a larger family.
I agree. Let's vote.
Yep, let's go.
Anybody want to make a motion?
All right, if there's no more discussion, then I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of PZ-23-08 for a variation in the minimum side yard setback of 4 feet from Table 2.3 of Article 2, Section 2.3, lot and building regulations of the zoning ordinance.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion, a second. Any questions or comments on the motion? Okay, roll call. Calvert,
Yes.
Hofstra,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Lemieux,
Yes.
Ledke,
Yes.
Orlowski,
Yes.
Romano.
Yes.
I too vote yes. So with that, our recommendation will pass the village board, and they can accept or reject or modify. So that will be your next meeting to attend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck. We'll close that public hearing and then move to petition PZ 2306 for 230 North 2nd Avenue. 2 variations, first to allow increased building height and second to allow a reduced front yard setback. Owner Olympia Lopez, petitioner Stephen Flint. Whenever you're ready.
So the first variation request is to increase the allowable maximum building height to 30 feet, where the allowed is 28 feet. The second variation request is to allow front yard setback to be reduced to 21 feet, or 30 feet required. So the subject property, the 2-story single building home, is work previously performed plan by the previous owner. The new owner attempts to correct existing violations. So the existing building height is 29.7 feet. Requesting the maximum height to be 30 feet, no change of the being proposed to alter the existing building. In this district, the required front yard setback is 30 feet. The structure is currently set back at 18.09 feet. The previous owner built an enclosed porch that projects 9.8 feet past the front of the structure. And then not counting this porch, the primary front wall of the structure is encroaching into the front yard setback itself too. So that one is 27.99 feet from the property line. This non-conformity likely results from different setback requirements at the time that it was originally built. The petitioner is proposing to remove the enclosed porch and put an open porch in its place. So this would increase the setback to 21.56 feet. It does not eliminate any fee violation, so it would decrease the encroachment. So then the request is.
Okay, thank you. The presentation, petitioner have a presentation? Looks like you do. Whenever you're ready, you're controlling it over there. So Stephanie has a mic for you. Just state your name and address for the record and get started when you're ready.
Okay, good evening. My name is Stephen Flint. My address is 314 South Westmore, Lombard, Illinois. So this down the street. So our petition, Stephanie did a great job, kind of give an overview. But I'd just like to show you a little bit of some specifics. So again, my name is Stephen Flint. I have Olympia Lopez and her husband here also. They're current owners at 230 North 2nd Avenue. So it's a 2-story home. It's kind of a pseudo castle that was mimicked from a European castle. And so the previous owner had built this. The previous owner is deceased, so there's no information of what happened, with the process and permits. But our attempt is to obviously correct all the violations, and that's to come, you know, after this portion. We want to submit everything under one permit, because we got coverage issues we got to do, and it's just one permit, one contractor. And as Stephanie stated, we got a building height and front setback requirement here, a variation. Again, the two variations. And then this is pictures of the home as it stands now. You can see, you know, the unique style of the home, and where the tall part is where the variation is, the peak, and it's kind of hidden there. But you can, from the back, you can kind of see it coming from the back there. And just to give you some areas, like the side yard patio, the rear patio, those areas are going to be modified. We're actually going to remove all that sidewalk on the north side to bring it in compliance with the coverage. And then this is where the home is located. There on 2nd Avenue on the west side of the street. Again, this is information as far as the square footage, the use, and it's a single family dwelling, of course. And it's surrounded by single family, very similar homes. And then this is the actual site plan. And I just want to make sure I look at my notes here. So the actual coverage, we're going to be reducing the coverage about 500 and almost 520 square feet and you can see that in the where we've eliminated some of the pavers and the sidewalk and everything that's indicated there. And then you can see the setbacks with the porch, open porch. This is just showing what's existing, what's new. And then this is the elevations, and you can see how pointy that, you know, it looks like a tower there. We looked at the average height, and when we did the calculations for the average height, it was 3'7"1/4", but staff recommended looking at the means, the mean height, and when we did that, we got it down to 1 foot 8 7/8 inches. So 8 7/8 inches. We were hoping to have it go away altogether, but this didn't quite work out. But it's a very minimal a variation with the peak there. It's very small. And then this is our 3D showing how the open porch will be. It'll give much more relief to the front and give you know, just, I think it's going to improve, you know, the elevation and everything. There is a balcony off the side there, and that is going to be removed. We're going to put just a railing there, a fake balcony, but that is going to be removed. But that doesn't have anything to do with this particular petition. And then this is also our plat of survey. And then we actually had to get a topo survey done in order to establish the height variation. And actually, based on the ordinance, it's the curb, height of the curb. So we lost probably a foot of elevation there. It's not the grade, but it's the front of the curb. So like the lot coverage, we're going to remove the existing front porch. We're going to completely remove the patio on the north side and sidewalks, portion of the rear patio, and reducing the front and side yard concrete walkway, and then the balcony on the second floor. That doesn't have anything to do with coverage. And then we're going to, I believe, replace the driveway. Is that correct, Olympia? Okay. So if anything, it'll go back the same way. But if anything, if we can reduce it a little bit, then we might trade off with the patio or something of that nature. But the point of it is, as our coverage, we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be that 56%, underneath the required zoning coverage. Yep. And then, like I said, we have the open porch, that 36-inch high guardrail railing, and will be added there at the front. There is a slope, a drop off there. And then the interior violations will be corrected. Like I say, we want to do that all at one time. So we'll be submitting for permit with the complete project to Villa Park. And thank you very much for the opportunity to present to you tonight. And if you have any questions, be glad to answer them.
Okay, thank you. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on this agenda item? See no one, so questions from the commission.
No, the only question that I had, most of them have been answered in the presentation, and that was I wanted to make sure that any existing violations with the property we're going to be taken care of with the building permit as a whole. And that was, we didn't have this until tonight.
Any other questions?
I have a couple,
Go ahead.
Jason. And just, I just want, as a point of disclosure, I've worked with Mr. Flinton in the past. He's done a couple projects on my home. You mentioned interior violations and getting permits and this approval for this variance for the exterior. What are the interior violations?
I think most of them are electrical, and there is a couple plumbing, the basement with a bathroom down there, and
Okay.
yeah.
Have any permits been issued since, and correct me if I'm wrong, the petitioner purchased this in September of 2022? Have there been any permits issued, Stephanie, since that time?
Actually, no, we do not have permits issued.
That was my understanding too, that
Yeah, no,
nothing's been, so this will be the first permit.
Okay. So
You know,
there
with
haven't been any
everything.
interior or exterior modifications to the property since September of 2022, since it was last sold? Has anyone from,
We haven't addressed any of the violations, but we weren't able to get any permits.
Just real quick, can I get your name and your name?
My
Just,
name is David Lopez, my wife Lindsay Lopez.
okay, and then your address is the same as the application? Yes. Okay.
has anyone, Stephanie, from the village been in the house, the property?
I believe Danita Anderson, our building inspector, has been in the property.
She has been inside? Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole report. I have a.
Okay, there is a report.
There is a report.
I recall when she was
She went before the sale of the property, right before the sale, so everything, the whole violation were addressed in the previous one.
What were some of the other, you said the violations, interior were plumbing and electrical?
I mean, if you,
The framing equipment in the basement,
Uh-huh.
electrical and plumbing.
Yeah, that balcony was on the list because it's not safe, so that's coming off.
We had to remove to get approval for the loan on the property. So it was not done treated wood. In order for us to get the funding for the lending, we had to remove the balconies.
Yeah.
And some drawings that you had sent over to the village that we had. How do you access the basement from the first floor?
In the kitchen, and into the top.
Okay. Because and the reason I ask, and where my question directly is this: when I pulled up this address and I looked at pictures from when it was for sale, and it has kind of a sad past, and it's been abused and neglected, but what I saw were pictures of multiple kitchens. Is there an apartment in the basement of this property? Has it been removed?
Yeah, we removed it.
Okay. Danita needs to make sure of that, because it's a single-family home, and it's what it's zoned, and that's what it's taxed at.
All that's going to be cleaned up.
Okay. I don't have anything else.
All right, any other questions? Any closing comments from the petitioner?
No, I mean, they're here to, just like the other petitioner, I think they want to make their home here, and they do foster children and stuff, and they just want to make it their home, and be a, a law-abiding citizen. Unfortunately, they inherited this, but they're committed to making it, correct.
I applaud you for trying to bring it back to life. Hiring Mr. Flint's a step in the right direction.
It was,
The previous owner was a friend of ours.
yeah, it was a list of issues
Okay.
that we had to deal with.
Well, I feel better about knowing that Danita has been inside and has been,
Yeah, there also has to be a pre-sale inspection, or plumber has been inside.
uh-huh.
Like substance noted, if there are additional bathrooms, that would be a separate report, please.
Okay. Okay.
We purchased in September. And we have been trying to purchase for a few years. And because of all the violations, that's what has been a setback for us to purchase the property. And we've been trying to be compliant for a couple of years, and the last step to getting the permits is we had to get Mr. Flint and the architect to come up with a drawing for it. But we've been wanting to just redo this house. And like the other gentleman said over here, man, he bought it to build a park. We love the area. It's very, for what I do in my trucking and where my wife works at in the city, and it's right in the middle. And man, we like the area. That's very cool. So we've been wanting to fix this house for a few years. We've been trying to purchase and fix this house for a few years. And we set a list of violations that it's just, this has been a really slow, long process, dragged out. We just want to do it right. We just want to do it right. We want to correct everything else that the previous owner did.
Or didn't do.
And it really isn't architectural, it's a unique home.
Yeah.
It really is.
All right, any discussion? If there is no discussion, then we need someone to make a motion.
No, I'd say the only discussion that I would have is if we make it a condition to get this approved, that a remodel be applied for through the village.
Oh, yeah.
And that way, that'll cover any of the violations, get them resolved with a building permit to remodel the house, one permit, and then comply with all violations.
Our
And then-
intent is to have it submitted at the end of the month. That's our,
Yeah, it's my understanding.
but we have to go through the trustees. We have to get their blessing first.
Yeah.
So that's another step. I just don't want to be premature in case something.
Yeah, so this has been on the village's radar for a while.
So you'll have a comprehensive plan then of everything, interior and exterior, when you apply for the permits that will,
Has to go through Anita, for review. So she has her report, and we have it.
okay.
Yeah, hopefully we pick everything up.
All right, is there a motion?
I can make a motion to recommend the approval of PZ 23-06 for variations of a maximum building height of 30 feet and a minimum front yard setback of 21 feet from Table 2-3 of Article 2, Section 2.3, Lot and Building Regulations of the zoning ordinance.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments on the motion? All right, roll call vote, all in favor of the motion, Calvert,
Yes.
Hofstra,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Lemieux,
Yes.
Ludke,
Yes.
Orlowski,
Yes.
Romano.
Yes.
I too will vote yes. With that, our recommendation passes to the village board, and they can accept, reject, or modify as they see fit, and good luck. Thank you. Okay, we'll close that public hearing and then move into any other business or public comments on non-agenda items. Any comments tonight, Stephanie? I don't see anyone from the public wishing to speak on non-agenda items. Any commissioner comments? No?
We got some rain.
Yeah, but
Little bit of rain.
little bit.
Finally.
All right, motion to adjourn.
So be it.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.